So, I've got myself into a bit of bother. You see, Mum was out shopping between shifts at the hospital. When this happens, she's always in a rush, so she doesn't even bother to come back into the flat. She just texts me to let me know the bags are outside the front door. She doesn't need to check I'm in because, well, I'm always in. I don't go out. Haven't in ages. That lockdown shit was kind of a gift to me because nobody thought I was crazy anymore. No more of Mum telling everyone I was a college refuser or an agoraphobic. Anyway, I go to the front door and open it. I can hear the hum of the lift, so Mum's already gone. I bend down to pick the bags up and then I see her. There's this old lady on the other side of the corridor, like lying on the floor. How Mum I missed her, I don't know. What's dead weird is I have never, ever seen this old bird before. At first, I try not to look at her. I go to pick up the bags. Even stepping into the corridor makes me feel kind of sick and faint. But I can't leave her. I just can't. I mean, is she dead or what? I go over. Suddenly, she reaches up this old, twisted arm, thin and black like some tree root. With my help, she gets slowly to her feet. She's wearing an old green coat and a floppy hat. She looks kind of battered and ancient. I'm still holding a bag in my free hand. A few things are spilling out. She looks at it. "That looks like good rice, Sonny," she says. "And that chicken, they would give me strength." She suddenly sags again and I drop the bag and catch her. Feel her wiry, stringy body. Before I can stop myself, I say it. Have it, the shopping. I'm vegan anyway. It's Mum who likes the chicken. She looks at me. "You sure, son? They look mighty tasty." I'm starting to feel hot, clammy, as I do when I'm not on safe ground. I just want it all to be over. "Yeah, no probs," I say. She clings to me and I find myself helping her towards a door. She pushes it open and I almost fling the bag of shopping in after her. A mango falls out and rolls down a hallway, but the door is shutting and I am free at last. Suddenly, her pin-thin arm grasps me again. She wrenches open my fist and places something inside it. The door slams shut and she's gone. I open my palm. A rusty old key and some, well, I'm not entirely sure what they are. Herbs? Seeds, maybe. What do I know? Later, my mum gives me a right bollocking. How short of money we are, how she's never even seen this woman, how she's probably a con artist, blah, blah, blah. How if I were normal, this would never have happened. I'm in a kind of daze. You won't believe where I am. No, not back at college or walking the streets. I'm top of the world, or at least that's what it feels like. I should have just thrown that scummy old key and seeds away, but I didn't. They kind of grew in my mind. I just wanted to know what the key was for. I asked my mum about the seeds, but she was still too angry to discuss it. Boy, was she mad about the shopping. But I couldn't get it out of my head, the key especially. And in the end, incredibly, I leave the flat. Yeah, I know, crazy. I walk down the corridor and search for the old woman's flat. But the door is different to how I remember it. I knock, but there's no answer. And then I don't know what comes over me. I put the key in the lock. It fits. But when I push open the door, there's no hallway, just a wall a few feet in and a ladder. So I start to climb the ladder. I used to love climbing before. I'm good at climbing. And I need to be because the ladder goes on, and suddenly I'm pushing through a trapdoor. Fresh air hits me. I can see clouds and a blue sky. I half fall to the ground, but slowly I get up. In front of me is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. A roof garden. Long pathways with arches covered in roses facing me, and there are plants of all shapes and sizes, exotic ones, and there are birds, lots of birds, possibly a parrot, and then a goose. A bleeding goose is waddling towards me, and all of a sudden, a huge man, a giant of a man lurches out from behind one of those arches, holding a spade. He has a kind smile. "Hello, Jack," he says. "Did you bring the seeds?" I nod, speechless. "Come on then, son. We've got planting to do." He turns and ducks behind one of the arches. The bleeding goose waddles after him. I'm 30 stories up, high above the traffic and the troubles of the world, above the smog and the pain and the suffering. I can feel myself growing. Whatever that thing was inside me, I've killed it.